G'day all, I'm Graham Sanders and I live at Townsville, North Queensland. That's where latitude 19 crosses the east coast of Australia. Let's talk about hive designed for the local species Tetragonula hockingsi. And as I pan around here, go past this post, you will see I have had to build an emergency hive for an emergency rescue. Now, everybody talks about building their beehives out of wood, but there's nothing stopping you building them out of other materials. And you've seen in other videos, I've built beehives out of plastic. No problems there at all. And you've seen concrete hives, and hockingsis are found quite common, in fact very common in the tropics, in concrete block walls. So here's a concrete block hive. Now, the shape is rather simple. You will see there the entrance where I've just knocked it out. You could knock it out with a screwdriver. That's a pollen store at the bottom. There is a wooden plate that I've wedged in about there in the hive. I'll show you in a minute. Giving me 2 brood stores, and up the top a honey super. Volumes, you're looking 1.5 litres, about 3 litres, about 3 litres, about 1.5 litres, a nice size for a hockingsi on the tight side. But more importantly, again, it's that funnel shape, it's that log shape. We'll talk more about that. I've got to pause this for where the hive is located, and we'll take a bit apart to have a look at. Oh, before we go any further on that, I've always talked about the importance of a vent hole, and you can see there I've ground a very tiny vent hole at the top of the brood chamber. Now these are double-holed concrete blocks, and what I've done is I've just knocked off one side of the concrete block to make one hole, and that's good. You could use half blocks if you want, but the double blocks give you a slightly bigger hole, and I'll give you the dimensions in a minute. So there you can see I've just taken off the honey super. There it is there, and it's just an empty block. There it is. And the lid's just a flat piece of concrete. Again, I've just knocked off the sides. That size is 140 roughly by 120. And the height of this little super here is 90. Height of these big ones is about 190. Gives you an idea. So there's my honey super. It's just an ordinary block. Look at the top of the brood chamber. What have I done? Try to get that right. As you can see there, just wedged a bit of ply in to confine the brood to the brood chamber. Again, the normal gap I talk about, 10 to 20 mil is all you need. You can see over here I grooved out just a little vent hole, very important for hockingsis. And you do the same to separate here again. Just wedge any old piece of wood. You don't have to be fancy like me and have this sort of piece of wood, you know, really nice and neat. Any old piece of wood, just a wedge in there will do. And the same down here on the brood chamber. There's one just wedged in, and I wedged it in about there. That's a scrap a bit of timber, and that was perfect. I'll go back a bit. So it's about there. Hang on, no, probably about there where my finger is, just above the crease line. So what I'm showing you here is a very simple design. Maybe you don't have access to wood. Maybe your woodworking skills are crap. Well, you can still make a hive out of concrete, and it's very easy. That took me barely half an hour to make. Easy, simple, and the bees will love it. And does a concrete hive work? Well, looky here at this first thing in the morning. We've got scenting up of the corner showing ownership of the hive. You can see it there. Early morning, you can see foot traffic. This hive is about 3 months old. Look in the front. I think you can see it is utterly chockers full of bees. Bees just love the hive. And you can see the foot traffic, the staining from the foot traffic. All signs of ownership. Oh, and of course, vent hole working as well. So, proof of concept, I suppose, is the saying.